Howdy PreCal, it's Miss Kosh. I have a lot of videos to make this class period, so you'll probably hear the bell. I'm starting between classes. Here we go. So on this one, we are on the rational functions application and review, and I wanted to start with these. I wanted to make this video first for no reason. I just was having fun with it. So they're telling us to write a function. Now notice they say write a function, not write the function. Okay, there could be more than one correct answer, and we're going to go as simple as we can. That's always my goal. Okay, so it has a vertical asymptote at x equals 2, which means that x minus 2 needs to show up in the denominator. It has a hole at x equals 4. So that means x minus 4 needs to show up in both the numerator and the denominator. Okay, at an x-intercept of 3, that tells us that when I plug in 3, f of 3 needs to equal 0. So what I'm going to look for on the top is I would have something like x minus 3 if that met my requirement. But as I keep reading, it says an asymptote at y equals 5. So what that means is my leading coefficients need to divide and leave me with 5. So I'm going to take this piece and multiply it, and here's what I'm thinking. So our f of x is equal to the vertical asymptote that x minus 2 goes in the denominator. The whole, it needs to show up in both the numerator and the denominator. So there it is so that they'll cancel out. And then I need this last term. I can just say that this is 5x minus 15. Okay, and so here's what I have. I have a desmos, but I put part A and part B in the same desmos, and I'm not ready to show you that. So let's continue on. It says the next one has a vertical asymptote. Okay, vertical asymptote, I see an x minus 5 that shows up in the denominator, and a slant asymptote of this. Okay, so that tells me one way, it's funny, I've worked this 4 times, and now I see which way I should do this. That tells me that my equation, f of x, is going to look something like x plus 8 plus something, I'm going to call it k over x plus 8. No, I lied. I didn't lie on purpose, but I did lie. X minus 5. That's that asymptote. Okay, so remember how this is when we've gotten, this is kind of working backwards, and so what we need to do is we'd say, okay, this is x plus 8 times x minus 5 over x minus 5 plus k over x minus 5. And so this becomes x squared plus 3x minus 40 plus our k value over x minus 5. And as long as k is not 0, if k is 0, then we don't have an asymptote, we have a hole. Okay? Because if k is 0 and I try and divide that, so I take 1, 3, negative 40, and I divide by 5, I have, what is that? I end up with something where this divides perfectly, and so x minus 5 becomes something that cancels from the top and the bottom and leaving me with a hole, and I don't want that. Okay, so there goes all of that mess. Okay, it's gone. So what I wanted to do is I put this in desmos, so we can look at these different equations. I'm going to look at the first one, and in our answer key for I already made the answer key to the practice, and I made a desmos where you can see. Anyway, go check that out. It's gonna have those particular problems, or you can create it yourself. But okay, in this one, they had told me that it has an asymptote at y equals 5, which sure seems to be happening, and that it has an asymptote at x equals 2. Did they tell me anything else? Now I forget that first problem. Oh, and it has a hole. Okay, so we should go look and see. We might need the point. It was a hole at 4. Well, holes. If I plug in 4, that's 5 over 2. Okay, so that's 5 halves. Did you notice what I was doing there? So this function here isn't defined at that point, and we should graph it. I'm not sure how to get Desmos to show me holes. Maybe make a table, and then you could see that at 4 it's missing that value. I'll have to think about that one, or somebody Google it and let me know what you come up with. Okay, so there's that one. The other Desmos activity part, hang on, let's turn off that label, was this one. Why aren't you turning on? There you go. Turn on, turn on, turn on. Okay, and you can see in here that those are the asymptotes, that y equals x plus 8 and x equals 5 are asymptotes. What I set this up where this is, right now I'm plugging in a 1 for k. But notice I can hit that little play button, and as it changes now at 0, it's going to do something weird. Let's see, what happens when k is equal to 0? Okay, notice, sure enough, it's just that line. It's a line with a hole and not a function with an asymptote. So I just need to make sure that k is not 0, and I'm going to get, isn't that fun? I enjoy how Desmos can do that for us. So you can pick any k value. So coming back here, if I say write a function, write an equation that, I would expect you to fill in my k value with something. So you could tell me that this is f of x is equal to x squared plus 3x minus... I knew the bell was going to ring. Haven't you missed it, those of you that are at home? Okay, that was a joke. If I let k equal 1, then this is minus 39 over x minus 5. And that would be a correct way to do this problem. So let me know if you have any questions. Go check it out on Desmos. I think that's kind of a fun way to do things. And good luck. Go practice.